Voilà, ou branchez sur Radio Téléplanète Compare, et même sur Matapen, Hyde Park, Rosendale, Dorchester, Milton, qu'on a Randolph, Holbrook, Avon et surtout Brockton. Absolutely, welcome to Radio Téléplanète Compare. We are simply the best, and today we are going to talk to Mr. Marvin Badio, who is running for Congress. So I'm trying my best. I will try my best to make sure I ask the question in English and you answer it, and then I will translate for you. So, without further ado, let's start the interview right now. And I have to say good morning to Mr. Marvin Badio. And how are you today?
I just want to say good morning and how you doing to everyone. The candidate is Hamilton Rodriguez. He's right next to me. Hamilton, introduce yourself. I'm here to, show support and everything.
That's
Hamilton,
right.
It's your
Hello,
stage.
everyone. This is Hamilton Rodriguez. How you doing today?
Hey, how are you, Mr. Hamilton Rodriguez? Guess what? I'm giving this guy your place. Ain't that something? He should pay you.
he needs to take my place. All the work he's put into the campaign.
Well, unbelievable. So, really sorry about that. Let's make sure I get that straight because he's the one who emailed me, and then I'm trying to get the name properly, and then bang, I get Marvin Badio. And the worst thing in Haiti, they're looking for Badio. I told everybody that's not that Badio, please. So, Marvin. So, I'm glad Mr. Hamilton with us this morning. This is Radio Téléplanète Compass. So, Mr. Hamilton, the first question I would like to ask you, can you present yourself to the Haitian community who are listening to us right now, either on planetcompa.com, on telephone, or wherever they are right now? When we say Hamilton Rodriguez, who is that?
Hamilton Rodriguez is the common folk. I grew up in the neighborhood. I grew up in Roxbury, Massachusetts. My whole life, I went to the Boston Public Schools, and I went to Madison Park High School, graduated in 95. Then I went to UMass Amherst here in Massachusetts, and I have a master's degree in public administration from UMass Boston. Hamilton Rodriguez is basically the common folk that understands the common folk problems and the common issues that involve that are involved in the common community. I'm tired of the false narratives and promises that the current leadership are doing now in the community, and I'm stepping in to see what changes I can make, and it's time for change right now.
That's right. Et Marvin Rodriguez, Hamilton Rodriguez, qui c'est lui-même qui pourrait aller pour place Chambre des députés pour Congrès, eh bien, il faut connaître que il fait presque toute l'éducation ici, il passe dans Madison High, UMass Amherst, et aussi, ils sont un monde qui est très, très, très commun. Donc, c'est un monde qui est très amical tout. Donc, il est réellement fatigué de tout parler en pile que nous a fait, toutes mauvaises, fausses promesses qu'il a fait, et surtout leadership dans Washington et quel que soit à côté. Donc, il décide qu'on y a là pour aller, pour le travail, pour les common people. So, this is a question. So, when I was talking to Marvin, I wanted to put it aside, but this is very important. Since you make that introduction, I will have to ask you this question. So, you are running as a Republican, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So why you are running for Congress?
I'm running for Congress because the current individual that's there, Stephen Lynch, has been there for over 20 years. Folks have been voting for him for over 20 years, but he's done absolutely zero in the past 20 years for the community. And I'm here to make that change, and it's time for change.
Yes.
And I haven't seen any changes since he's been in office for over 20 years.
That's right.
That's why I'm running.
Wow. Before I translate, I don't know if there is some lights by you so they can see you better because
Oh, yes.
I
Hold
see
on
you
one
a little
second.
bit dark when we're talking. I don't know. Yes, I don't know exactly. I want to make sure the interview, when we're talking about pictures passing like me, like Mr. Marvin, I seen him a while ago, perfect. I wanted to take the light from Mr. Marvin and put it in your studio instead.
Yes,
So,
yes.
et Hamilton Rodriguez fa nous connaît que Mandeli l'a pralé comme un républicain et place que la prend, c'est place Steve Lynch là. Il fait connaître que Steve Lynch n'a fait rien pendant 20 ans comme un leader de 8e congressional là. Et monsieur, c'est simplement son carrière politicien et il s'est fait partie de l'establishment là, donc qui pas travaille pour Massachusetts, donc pour le peuple là en général. So, Mr. Hamilton, so you're running for Congress. Can you tell the community what are the 3 most important issues you are running?
The 3 most important issues are immigration.
Okay.
Okay, is one. Secondly, is the inflation, and thirdly is education. Those are my 3 top priorities out of the 8 that I'm gonna touch bases on.
Ok, so li di 3 bail que la couille pour yo, c'est immigration et surtout inflation qui réellement frappé et peuple là, et surtout éducation. We're talking about inflation. This is really a pain these days for the people. The other day I went to a market and buy a gallon of milk. Gallon of milk I used to pay like $3, $4. Now it's $9. I said, wow, should I take it or not? You know, just to show you how tough it is, even for people, you know, putting gas in the car. So the second, your second important issue is very, very important for the people to make sure. I mean, how are you going to work to get things moving for the inflation?
Well, first of all, inflation is, first of all, that milk you was trying to buy, you have to buy it regardless because you have to eat.
Yes.
You have to drink. But first of all, the way you tackle inflation is to get to the root of the root of the problem. The main root of the problem of inflation is supply chain demand. Okay, the supply chain is a big problem in the United States of America, getting products from point A to point B. Okay, we don't have truck drivers. We don't have people to work to get the stuff off the ships, to get it to the store shelves. The problem is not lack of products. The problem is supply chain demand, keeping up with the demand of products. So when you have 10 people asking for one product, guess what? It's going to be sold to the highest bidder. Mm-hmm. That's the problem with inflation. That's one of the problems. The other problem is taxation. When you tax a business owner on a product, okay, that business owner has to sell it for a higher price to make a profit. The business owner is in business to make money, and the business owner is in business to make a profit. So when he buys something for $1, he's going to sell it for $2. That's common sense. Mm-hmm. Okay. But then when the government comes in and steps in and says, okay, we're going to charge you 75%, 75 cents on the dollar. Now he's only making 25 cents when he sells it for $2. Guess what? The price goes up to $3. Okay, because he's got to offset the 75 cents increase on taxes. Mm-hmm. So when that happens, that's called inflation. The price gets inflated. It's not the business owner. It's a false narrative when they blame it on the business owner. Oh, business owners are raising prices. Well, the business owner wishes he could sell his products at a cheaper price. But remember, the business owner has taxes to pay, rent to pay at the business, or whatever other expenses, employees, and so on and so forth. So when he sells that $1 thing that he bought for $2, that $1 gets divided amongst all expenses. And at the end of the day, hopefully he makes 10 cents profit. Mm-hmm. That's part of inflation right there.
Voilà, et candidat Hamilton Rodriguez nous t'a posé une question concernant l'inflation parce que de nos jours, tout bagage remonté, qu'il y a que gaz ou mettre dans machine et maquette qu'on a fait, tout bagage remonté. Donc il fait connaître que moun c'est pas faute moun cap vendre non. Si moun achète un bagage en dollars, il t'a aimé vendre pour $2, fait $1 de plus. Donc pour lui-même, il connaît moun gen taxe la payer et son business owner il pas cap perdu, donc c'est pas forti, c'est gouvernement qui est avec police pour capable descendre force et inflation. So what I'm asking right now you was mentioning another issue, important issue that you have, it's immigration. I remember, not that long ago, let's say last year, we got so many Asian people under the bridge in Texas. There are some coming to Massachusetts from Brazil, from Chile, things like that who are here. And do you have a solid game plan or to help to support the issue at hand when you're talking about legislation?
Yes, I do. It's an interesting and particular solution. Mm-hmm. And it's a solution that no one wants to touch. The immigration topic, no one wants to touch this topic, not Democrats, not Republicans, independents. I'm going to touch this topic when I get in, even though if it's going to make me lose my election or lose the next election, what have you. But I'm going to tackle this topic. When I leave office, I'm going to be known as Mr. Immigration, because this is something that hits home, and I have to resolve the immigration matter whether it hurts me or not. Now, my plan is basically to satisfy all parties. We have 11 million illegal immigrants on average, 11 million to 15 million people here that are undocumented, illegal in this country. Okay, so let's do the math. Let's just say 11 million. Okay, that we don't even know who they are. We don't know where they're coming from. We don't know where they're at. So why not create a system where we document these people? Okay, we give them an illegal immigration number, social security number. Well, it's not a social security number. It's not a pathway to citizenship. It's not a pathway to the green card. It's just a documentation card where they're able to be identified. Okay, and let's be honest here. These folks are working. They have money. They're making money. Let's be honest here. So, and half of that money is being sent back to their countries via Western Union, MoneyGram, and so on and so forth. Okay, that money, if you check, look at the annual reports of Western Union, which is a multi-trillion-dollar business, and MoneyGram, and so on and so forth. Money transfer business outside the country is a multi-trillion-dollar business. How do we capitalize on that and stop that from happening? Well, my plan's going to do this. Let's keep that money here in the United States and collect it and use that money to help the United States, help the people of the United States. So why not charge $5,000 to get this illegal immigration number? Okay, so now these people don't have to hide. They don't have to hide behind doors and so on and so forth. They can come forth, get stamped, get fingerprinted, and picture taken. This is how you stop criminal activity in the United States and drug activity. Because now you know who these 11 million people are, okay? Before, you didn't know who they are, you don't know where they're at, and all this crime is happening, drug trafficking, and so on and so forth. Now, if you recognize people, now if you satisfy the government's desires to find out who these 11 million peoples are, you satisfy the illegal immigrants' desires, okay? And now you can build the wall and build the border, okay? No one else comes in. Whoever's here is here. Let's not legalize them, but let's let them work and give them the number. So now the government's collecting taxes on these people, okay? And then these people can work, which they're already doing. They're already working. They're already working, so might as well collect taxes on them. Now they can pay for their health care. Instead of get free health care, they can pay into the system, okay? And this is why this is controversial, because a lot of politicians are afraid to talk like this. I'm not afraid to talk like this. I'm talking like this because this is a solution. This is a real solution to the immigration system. Something has to be done. And to say just build a wall is a false narrative. Yes, we're going to build the wall and stop the flow of illegal immigration. You go to any country in the world, the immigration system is tight. You try to go to France and extend your stay. Let's see how far you get. You go to Amsterdam, okay, and stay 3 more days after your stay. They'll come looking for you at your hotel, okay? Why in the United States we have to have open borders? It's absurd.
That's right.
So now, basically, the $5,000 to get these people a number and the authorization to work becomes $5.5 billion that the United States government just accumulated. You guys follow me?
Yes.
So this $5.5 billion can go towards border security and anything else that the government needs. And then what you do is every year there'll be a renewal fee for these folks. They have to pay $1,000 to renew their stay. Okay, as long as you obey the law and you live by the law, you stay here in America, no problem. And your kids can go to school and everything else, and you can live a happy life. But it's not a pathway to citizenship, and it's not a pathway to green card. It's just a pathway so the government can know who you are, and you're able to work, because you're working here anyway, and it's to stop the flow of funds leaving the country and going to other countries.
That's right.
Well, that's basically my immigration plan right now, and it's more in depth than that. So anyone wants to know, they can contact me or Marvin for more details on this plan.
That's right. Well, Monsieur Hamilton Rodriguez fait nous connaître que l'elle devenu dans le congrès lui-même, chambre des députés a pris bagay. Il pral tacler parti immigration et il a même considéré comme Mr. Immigration, ministère immigration pour ça. Et vous connaissez l'envoyer l'argent dans l'autre pays, l'argent ça c'est trillions de dollars que moun yo voye l'argent de ici États-Unis l'autre côté. Mais pour qui ça que moun qui travaille ici et ça aussi qui derrière les rideaux qui travaille pour qui ça pas faire venir devant et puis yo paye $5,000. Dans $5,000 que yo paye ça pourra aider pour construire mur et wall et pour mettre bloquer flot monde qui venir sortir de l'autre pays pour entrer dans les États-Unis. Et $5,000 ça et chaque année on ba moun 4 on renouveler à $1,000 et kounya là moun nan pral travail légalement li nan pays a on côté moun nan yé pendant les cas sur Amsterdam après 3 jours qu'on fait depuis ou pas retourner la carte etc. ou considéré comme illégal ou pas chercher côté pour yo prendre. C'est même bien tout, mais les États-Unis, pour qui ça, ou pas fait tactique, ça. Donc, ou tu as besoin de plus d'informations de police immigration par M. Hamilton Rodriguez, ou capable de compter Marvin Badio, et dans fin show, n'a pas téléphone Marvin, at the end of the show, you will get the number. So now, again, I say, you vote for President Trump in 2016 and 20?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Why I ask you that, because my next question is very important. Why do you think so many minorities, such as Hispanic, African American, and so on, they are drifting towards the Republican Party? Why?
Because many folks like me, who look like me and think like me, are flowing towards the Republican Party, mainly because the values of the Republican Party are more attractive, and the morals of the Republican Party are more attractive to us than the Democratic Party is right now. And you guys understand what I'm saying because of my 3 main topics. And the Republican Party is looking to fix those main 3 topics that I'm talking about, especially education, which hits home. Education hits home to all of us, not just Haitians, not just African Americans, not just whites. It hits home to every single American here in the United States. So basically, when you're messing with our children and indoctrinating our children, it doesn't matter what race, ethnicity you are, there's a problem there. There's a big problem there. And basically, this is why there's a movement to leave the Democratic Party into the Republican Party right now. Because the Republican Party makes sense for all of us at this moment in time. It makes a lot of sense.
Oui, je demande à M. Hamilton Rodriguez, ce que tu as voté pour Donald Trump en 2016 et 2020, il dit oui. Et je demande pour qui ça qui est en pile dans noyau, dans minorities, hispanique et puis africaine-américaine, pour qui ça, c'est un petit peu bon côté Republican Party et a move. Bon, et M. Hamilton fait connaître que plus fort et minorities, eh bien, il y a valeurs conservatives tout et policiers républicains parti républicain eh bien lui adresser des valeurs que noirs et espagnols brown kounia là il a cherché il y a valeurs ça très importante c'est ça que fait après il a move bon côté parti républicain il a supporté et valeurs ça mais these days the big talk right now with the Supreme Court is about abortion. Do you think the U.S. Supreme Court imminent decision on abortion is coming soon? What you think it's going to be?
I think, in my opinion, my stance on abortion, I'm a pro-life candidate.
Okay.
I'm pro-life, and I think the Supreme Court is going to rule in the favor that what I think, and I think pro-life is a stance that I'm going to take in this campaign. I'm going to vote pro-life all the way when I win the campaign. And as far as the Supreme Court decision, I think it's going to be the way I'm thinking right now.
Well, M. Hamilton déclaré que Mandeli, de nos jours, ça a parlé à ces affaires abortion, avortement qui fait sensation de nos jours. Qui ça le pensait que US Supreme Court là pour le faire? Est-ce que vous pensez qu'il pourra le favoriser et il pourra le prendre décision contre et avortement, on connaît la loi ça longtemps. Bon, lui-même il dit que c'est un monde qui pour life, ça veut dire c'est un monde qui pour la vie et lui-même tout ça l'a fait et l'a voté, s'il a voté dans le congrès, c'est pour life que lié, c'est pour ça que l'a voté. A fait des avortements, ça sont bagage qui mandé pour le bannir. And another question, another topic that's very important these days with the war in Ukraine. And $40 billion just approved for Ukraine. Do you think that kind of money can take care of our people here in USA better than send that money to help Ukraine?
The question should be who's paying for the $40 billion? And then we should ask, once we figure out who's paying for the $40 billion, then we should ask, that next question that you just asked. Mm-hmm. So that $40 billion, the taxpayers are going to have to pay that, hence inflation. Okay? Every time we send money overseas, the government doesn't pay for it. It's the people. And then you wonder why taxes are going up on items in general every single year, because they just keep printing money. Yeah, let's raise the debt ceiling to take care of this, take care of that. But what's wrong with taking care of home first, taking care of your house first? I believe if my children are starving in my house, okay, I'm going to feed my child before I feed someone outside. Now, if there's food left over after everyone's eaten and stuffed, then I would feed the people outside my house. Okay? What is wrong with this narrative? Okay? We have to take care of our house first. And you walk down the street anywhere, Boston, Brockton, wherever it may be, and you see homeless veterans, homeless in general, you see drug addicts walking up and down the street, so on and so forth, and no one seems to care. This stuff really hurts me because, that could be me there. That could be you. That could be anyone. So we can't ignore what's going on in our country. Serious problem. At any time, you, I, or Marvin could be in that situation.
That's right.
And it's being ignored. That's
right.
But then there's no money for the situation to resolve. There's no budget funds. There's no line item funds. But then we turn around, all of a sudden, $40 billion just show up. Guess what? It's a loan to the U.S. citizens, the public. We have to pay that $40 billion back with interest to the Federal Reserve Bank. Think about that for a second.
Yes. Mr. Hamilton déclaré, me demandé, bon, ça vous pensez de guerre entre Ukraine et Union soviétique là, la Russie, côté c'est $40 billions que le gouvernement pour envoyer, Congrès a fait approuver $40 billions pour Ukraine. Ce qui ça le pensait, il dit ça important pour lui c'est take care of your backyard. Ça veut dire la caillou d'abord, faut la caillou manger avant que étranger trouver parce que qu'on a combattre l'inflation et là regarder pour moun là où tout cap marché qui réellement besoin aide. Est-ce que ça veut dire pour voir $40 billions ça ba on l'autre pays alors que ou pas take propre caillou d'abord bien l'état aimé que taxpayer yo plus impliqué dans la politique, pas seulement pour trust the government, mais aussi pour capable prendre toute décision qui bon yo, pour capable comprendre pour quelle raison ou dans bureau, ou dans office pour capable aider pays. Il n'y a pas de problème, sous fin manger ventre plein ou aider on l'autre. Il y a un petit crasse qui était ou aider on l'autre. Mais d'abord c'est caille pa ou pour capable protéger d'abord, caille pa ou pour capable verser l'argent pour aider avant étranger trouver. I think that's a good concept because us we're supposed to take care of our own first and then take care of somebody else. So there is another question that's very important these days, and when I see the other days 19 angels that's died from a mental health illness, person 18 years old, and 19 children die. And also in Buffalo, 10 black people that died from an 18-year-old. What is your position on increasing gun control?
First and foremost, we cannot have the narrative of black people die or white people die. People die. And the situations that have happened across the country with the gun violence and so on and so forth, excuse me, that has nothing to do with black or white. It can happen to anyone anyone in any situation. And we can't blame it on guns, and we can't blame it on basically gun violence. We have to blame it on the person that's carrying the gun, the illegal gun in the hand. Because to get a legal gun in your hand, you have to take a course, you have to be educated, you have to go through mental health background check and so on and so forth. So to abolish guns in society, you're basically taking freedoms away from individuals. For example, how do you protect your house when someone comes in with a gun at night and you have your family, your wife and kids in your house, and the government takes away your gun rights? How do you protect your family when someone comes in your house instead of going into Buffalo? When they come into your house, the police is not going to come right there and then. You're not going to have the opportunity to call the police to come save you. Okay, but then when you have a gun rights, you have a gun for self-defense in your house. Now, this narrative that, guns are killing people, so on and so forth, and you're going to take away rights for guns and so on and so forth from the average individual that's a law-abiding citizen that respects the gun, okay? You're damaging what the U.S. Constitution is saying. Okay, you're damaging that. Okay, we have a right to bear arms. And if you take that right away from us, people from Haiti understand what rights are, okay? People from Cape Verde Islands understand what rights are. And when your rights are taken away from you after you fight for your rights. So the Haitian community understands what I'm talking about when I say rights. The Haitian people fought for their rights years ago, and they were the first free, independent black nation in the world. Everyone knows this. Okay? Why? Because they were fighting for their rights. Okay? Now imagine someone comes and takes the Haitian people's rights away from them, whether it's guns or anything else. We have to focus on the issue here, not the product. Okay? We have to protect the rights of people in this country.
C'est ça.
And the problem is not the gun. The problem is mental health issues. So we have to tackle it from the root of the problem. For someone to get up, to go to a public place and take away someone else's life, 20, 30 people, and spray the whole crowd, it's not a gun problem.
That's right.
It's a mental health problem, and it's a serious problem.
Well, Mr. Hamilton, we have 43 seconds left. We have to stop it right there. And then hopefully you're coming back for another time. The microphone is still open for you anytime. Yes. Can I get the number in case if somebody want to contact your headquarters to make sure they get more information about you? What's the number then, Hamilton?
857.
205.
5812.
5812. 857-205. 5812. Mr. Hamilton, thank you very much. And I wish you good luck. Hopefully we talk again next time.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Hold on 1 second.
Yes.
Can I throw something in there?
Okay, I got 3 seconds, 2 seconds, unless...
You know it's all about Jésus, méchant.
Wap koute Radio Télé Planète Compas 89.3 FM ou même qui nan Marapen, Hyde Park, Rosendale, Dorchester, Boston, Milton ou même qui nan zone Brockton, Randolph, Holbrook, Braintree. Koute nou sou 105.3 FM. Ou ka gade nou nan Roku TV, online sou planetecompas.com, Facebook Radio Télé Planète Compas, YouTube, juste mette Harold Marie.
Hi, c'est moi-même Tizayon Kapdino. Même si vie a difficile pour vous, mettez chay la nan men bon Dieu. Dis avec moi. God is good all the time.
Radio Télé Planète Compas. Il fait exactement midi. That's why, Mr. Hamilton, sorry, we couldn't stop the time. And that's why I have to wait till it's finished. Yeah, go ahead. You wanted to say a last word?
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
That's right.
So we have a gentleman, a superstar gentleman named Fred Fontaine.
Fontaine, yes.
Yes. A great man at that, too. I don't want to add that part.
A good friend of mine and a dear friend. And he is running for state representative in Brockton.
Okay.
I would like everyone to listen here. He's in a situation where had a problem at the elections department on the ballot. So now he has to have stickers or run as a write-in candidate. So basically, I'm asking the community who's listening here to vote for Fred. When you vote, his name might not be on the ballot, so just write his name in on the ballot with a pen. Also, contact Fred to get stickers so you can put stickers on the ballot for Fred Fontaine.
Yes.
Please, because the situation that happened to him is very unfortunate. I don't want to get into it, but we have to get Fred into office because he's an asset to Brockton and he needs to win this election. Please.
That's it. Thank you again, Mr. Hamilton Rodriguez. Really appreciate it. And like I said a while ago, good luck. And hopefully we will get you on the microphone back to keep educating the community and help themselves. And also how to vote, because this is very important. When the informations get out, people get a better choice to vote. Thank you. And see you next time.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Qu'est-ce moun ka frappé dans porte là comme ça?
C'est moi-même.
Qui moun ça?
C'est moi-même, mon cher Tizayon. Ou t'es pas me aller? La pire, 12 amis.